Hi, welcome back to another episode of the Cody Tucker Show. As always, I'm your host, Cody Tucker. Yeah, well, it's been a pretty busy couple of weeks. Been about a month since I've recorded a solo episode, so quite a bit to catch up on. Who knows if we'll get to all of it, but, I will try my best. Actually, I probably will not. I will probably do what I typically do, and that is give slightly above bare minimum effort. I feel like that's the pocket where I thrive. Mediocrity. Which was that was always my philosophy, like with jobs. So I'm just, for one, not cut out for a real job, which is probably abundantly clear. Never really had a job that lasted too long. Usually quit. A lot of silent quitting or quiet quitting isn't what it's called. Where you just stop giving a fuck till you get fired. I would usually just be at work and going on like a job site, like an Indeed or something along those lines, and be looking for other jobs. And then once I got hired at that job, there'd typically be like a couple weeks or maybe like a week where, in between where they're like, oh, okay, your start date's this. And then I'd spend that, whatever time difference that was, doing absolutely nothing. Had a couple telemarketing jobs. Very big habit of mine was to just hang up on every single person that called. It was actually a very satisfying feeling. Not everybody necessarily. Like, it would basically just be on their attitude, Somebody called and it was very nice. Sure. And then I would just talk forever. Just be like, yeah, we'll just hang out and talk. And then if somebody's, which you can usually tell from the jump, if somebody's going to be a real, a grade A asshole or not. And if I could kind of, because you can kind of, like, if it's a guy, calling, and you get like a sir, like if that's the first thing you hear, hang up. Yeah. So I did that quite a bit, and it brought me a lot of joy in life. It's kind of one thing I miss, and I might actually start doing it again while I'm doing this. I have like kind of considered, because I don't have to, and so it would be kind of nice to do it knowing that I could just fuck around and fuck off as much as I want. I think that's where I'd probably end up doing great at the job, just knowing that I don't have to be there or have to be doing it. So yeah, if you see me at if you see me like stocking shelves at a grocery store or something, well, things haven't gone completely to shit. But I'm just doing it for fun. God, no way. People, the whole like customers always right mentality just got so fucking out of hand. The whole notion that if you're the customer, whatever you say is right. And everybody that, everybody you talk to should be bending over backwards for you. Like, the amount of entitlement. And what's funny is that, like, it's typically older, like, I would say not even like parents' generation, but like grandparents. So like the baby boomer generation that are like, oh yeah, none of you young people want to work and all this shit. And y'all have like attitude problems. I'll tell you, I've had a lot of different jobs doing a lot of different things. It was all customer service based, but in a lot of different types of places. The only people who were ever just full on assholes were people over the age of 50. Like, no one my age was an asshole. No one. So, yeah, no wonder we don't want to fucking work. Because we have to deal with you old pieces of shit that think like the world owes you something just because you haven't died yet. congratulations. You've done the bare minimum that it takes to remain breathing. Great. Like, you don't deserve a fucking prize because you're old. And it's not even like, and it's, you know, I don't know. That's probably enough of that. I'm gonna have a fucking aneurysm. Which I almost thought I had one the other night. I had like a real weird pain in the back of my neck that kind of traveled upwards. And for about 15 minutes, I was just waiting for the blood to shoot out of my ears. So far, so good. So, I think we'll be all right. But boy, that is a real big fear of mine. Because like, unless I'm just wrong about what an aneurysm is, I don't think there's anything you can do about it. I don't think there's really many warning signs. You know, like people ask me if I'm worried about getting like lung cancer because I smoke. And not really. Because one, I don't smoke often. I don't smoke very much at all. Which I don't know if that is going to mean anything. But, yeah, I'm not really that worried about that. I'm more worried about like colon cancer. My, you know, at the risk of getting a little graphic here, spend a lot of time on cleanup. And I feel like that's got to be a sign of something. Like, how old are you supposed to be when you get a colonoscopy? Like 45, I would think. So 31 seems young to be doing that. But I kind of want to do the prep just for fun. So I might do that at some point. Just, you know, just really flush myself out. I remember I was watching My Strange Addiction, whatever it is, on TLC, the Learning Channel. And there was there was a woman who, she had an addiction of giving herself coffee enemas. And would do like 20 of them a day, which just seems absolutely bananas to me. But then I did kind of think like, God, I bet it does feel amazing. Like, I don't know if you're actually helping anything by doing something like that. Like, is that going to be a benefit to me to really flush myself out? Like, is there stuff in there that's been in there a long time? I feel like there has to be. But, you know, with the amount of like McDonald's I've had, you know, there's no way that stuff passes through undeterred. It just becomes the turd. Yes, I have become turd, destroyer of toilets. So I remember watching that and thinking, God damn, I'd sure like to give myself a coffee enema. And then thought like, well, I really don't like coffee, and I get very panicky whenever I take in large amounts of caffeine. So I feel like that's probably not a good idea. So I was like, well, maybe I should do like a Diet Dr. Pepper enema. So I think a Diet Dr. Pepper enema is still on the table. So we'll just see. I'll keep the listeners updated on that. It's just gonna come out looking like a fucking like a Dr. Pepper float. Yeah. Stick a straw in that sumbitch. Yeah. God. But yes, and you know, just to put a cap on that discussion, I remember in that episode the husband was like, God damn, I don't know why my wife is doing all this. I think it's probably just not good. This is turning into an addiction. I don't understand it. Next scene is him laying on the bathroom floor with her, giving himself a coffee enema. Turns out he tried it and fell in love. So, you know, there's hope for everyone. If you think you haven't found your soulmate, there's somebody out there. Yeah. somebody out there for each and every one of us. My God. So anyways, I don't know. I have a striking feeling that I may have just eradicated about 90% of the people who were listening to this. Which if you made it to the 10-minute mark, which I think we're past, that's pretty good. I don't see how you do, or how you do it, but I am appreciative if you're here. So anyways, I think it'd be time to just move on along to some news, see what's going on in the world. So let's see. I think I got the first one already up. Yep. I should probably make this to where I can actually fucking read it. Good Lord. Idiot. All right. So, Jake Paul hires top lawyer as he vows to take on critics claiming his fights are rigged. Well, let me tell you something, sweetheart. Go ahead and add my name to that list. Because, well, I tell you, I watched, what was his last one? The Tyson one? Was that his last one? I think so. So I watched the Mike Tyson one. And, sure seemed rigged to me. I mean, who knows, and I guess, like, what is there a difference between being rigged and then just being like how much rigged is rigged? Like, does it have to be you're going to do this at this round, blah, 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 like you're going to take the fault? Like, is that all it means to be? I mean, or is that like how much you have to do for it to be considered rigged? Or is it rigged by making people believe that one person has a chance of winning this thing when it's just clearly a young guy beating the shit out of old men? Because I guess, like, if that's the case, if you're just, you're just doing that, it really wouldn't be too much different than me going to like a Dairy Queen parking lot and just knocking the shit out of the next 60-year-old that gets out of his truck. I mean, I guess that's technically not rigged, but I don't know. I feel like just cold cocking a senior citizen is that's no way to earn a living. And don't I know it? But yeah, I would love to be a part of this lawsuit if there's any way that can happen. I have a decent following. Somehow, yeah, I'd sure like for this to get into his world in some way. One, I don't have a whole lot of money, so what are you really going to get from me? You can't divide by zero, so I got really nothing to lose. And then what if I win? Because I would 100% be representing myself. No doubt about that. I mean, if Ted Bundy can do it, and me and Ted Bundy have a lot of things in common. So, I could do that too. But also, I think I don't think that worked out too well for him. But, oh well. All publicity is good publicity, as they say. But yeah, I mean, these fucking fights are completely rigged. It's all absolute horse shit. I mean, I'm happy to say that I've never actually paid for any of them, And if you do, if you are paying, which I don't even know how much they cost, I'm going to guess like $60. That's, I think, probably pretty accurate. If you have paid for one of those fights, you're a dumbass. Because you can watch these things for free. Very easily. Which actually, I think the last one was on Netflix. Oh, that's right. It was on Netflix because it damn near shut down the fucking app. Yeah. But I think I've watched some of the other ones, and I don't know. I mean, best of luck to you, Suge. But I'll see you in court. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, anyways, moving on. Okay, so next, Heinz and Smoothie King are dropping a new ketchup flavored smoothie. Oh boy. I've put a lot of disgusting things in my mouth. Some by choice, some not. I'll take any of those things over this. I mean, I guess it's basically a Bloody Mary without the. It's a Virgin Bloody Mary, I guess. Like I'm looking at, obviously, sorry, not a real picture. Smoothie King, that's a thing that they're still around. Because I thought it kind of went the way of vitamin water. Like when people found out that vitamin water is actually, you're basically streamlining diabetes. I thought, and vitamin water was like, oh, like promoting it as though this is a healthy alternative to like juice and soda. It's got a fuckload of sugar in it, but it didn't taste like it did. Because that vitamin water shit was absolutely disgusting. And I thought Smoothie King kind of went the way of that, where people found out that drinking one of these smoothies pretty much taking in about twice the amount of sugar you're supposed to get in a day, and damn near your entire caloric budget in one fucking kind of chalky, nasty ass smoothie. So, because I used to drink these things quite a bit when I was in high school. That's when I think Smoothie King was kind of popping. And I thought I was, being pretty fucking healthy. Now, granted, this is also a time where I was working out quite a bit. But I really was not losing as much weight as I should have been, considering, how much exercise I was doing. And I kind of have a feeling Smoothie King might be to blame for it, considering that I was basically drinking 2 meals in one every day. So, yeah, that probably wasn't. I mean, you'd be better off blending a couple of slices of cheesecake and, putting just probably a fistful of sugar right on top of that and drinking it. Like basically coating the rim in sugar, like a margarita, basically. And chugging one of them down than having Smoothie King. Now this ketchup one, you can just go on and get fucked, because that's some of the nastiest shit I've ever heard. Ketchup, take it or leave it. Not a big fan. I think once some people just fucking hell. Some people put ketchup on everything. Those people are psychopaths. I'll put it on the things that it belongs on, French fries, and that's it. Like I'm not putting ketchup on anything else. I know people put ketchup on eggs. Fucking disgusting. You shouldn't have. Like if you put ketchup on eggs and you have children, CPS needs to be called. Because if you're doing that to yourself, there's no telling what you're doing to your children. And I also know someone, pretty good friend of mine, that'll open a bag of Lay's potato chips, squirt ketchup on top of it. And I get it that it's like kind of French fry-ish, but it isn't. It ain't the same thing. Ketchup on mashed potatoes, which again, potato, French fry, you're in the same genus here. Still gross. It needs to be a potato that has been French fried. That's it. And I understand that I'm very close-minded when it comes to food, which is shocking, I'm sure, to most people. But yeah, I'm not going to try this. There's not a fucking chance in hell. And I know what's good. The things that are like when people, do all this like fancy shit. Why? You don't need to do all that. You don't need to be putting those things on those things. It's good as is. That's sort of my philosophy on food. But anyways, so I guess I don't know when this is supposed to come out, but yeah, my God. That's so fucking gross. Oh God. Like that legitimately makes me get that kind of like tickly feeling in the back of my throat where I think I'm gonna throw up. Like I have that right now. Yeah. Probably need to move on to something else. Okay, so yeah, a fourth dildo has been tossed onto the court during a WNBA game. Now, I'll say, from the time that I'm recording this, that's the number we're at, is 4. I tell you, I hope it keeps coming. Pun intended. This has become the greatest trend, I think, in sports history. Because who is it that throws octopi out during a hat trick? Yeah. Is it the Detroit Red Wings? I think do that. They throw out, I mean, I don't know if they're like real ones. I don't think. Maybe. But I think they throw out those little like octopi. Now, this is the WNBA version of that. And I say keep the trend going. Because there's been some great ones of all shapes and sizes and colors. So inclusivity, always a good thing. And I think they arrested one of the guys, and he's like 18, which is hilarious. And then they also threatened to basically have games with no fans allowed until this dies down, which I think they've kind of already been doing that for the past 30 years. So I don't think that's going to be much of a difference. But also, how did it take that long to figure out who did it? You have, like, whenever you watch, like, The Usual Suspects or, anything where they show, like, a police lineup, it's what, 6 people, 7 people? And they're usually able to narrow it down out of that 6 or 7. Well, that's about how many people are in the crowd. So all you got to do is basically just take everyone from the stands, put them onto the court after the game, and have fucking Kelsey Plum go up there and point it out who did it. You don't, there's not a lot to pick from at a WNBA game. It's just so amazing. Like, I don't know if that kid, the 18-year-old, I don't know if he was the first one to do it. Whoever started it is a real, what do they call it whenever somebody, he's a real trendsetter. And it's a guy that probably should be hired at a big company. This is the type of guy that knows how to, get attention to a absolutely dreadful product. And it may not necessarily be positive attention, but it's attention nonetheless. And I think, all press is good press, Like, that guy should be working for American Eagle. That's so fucking crazy that people are so angry. So goddamn angry about Sydney Sweeney. Which also, I don't know why she's getting shit on. She's not a fucking marketing executive. Like, she didn't come up with this campaign. I mean, she's just to most people, a hot chick, which unpopular opinion, I know. And also I get that it's fucking rich coming from me. I do not find her to be attractive whatsoever. Her eyes bother me. She seems like she has the flu all the time, if that makes any sense. Like a head cold. It's very head coldish. And I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's the eyes just never really opening. I don't know. There's just something about, like, I know people who look like this, and I've seen them in the wild. And there's like a smell attached to them, It's not necessarily like a horrible smell, but it's not a good one either. And so I get that too. I get that kind of like, when you smell something, you taste it. I kind of get that a little bit. It's sort of a cat pissy smell. There's an ammonia to it. Yeah. Like a sweat and ammonia. You know, all those, yeah, she's all that put together. That's what I get whenever I see Sydney Sweeney. Now, obviously, very talented. I think that goes without saying. So, you know, is a jeans ad the best thing for her? Probably. But also, you know, people saying that it's like promoting eugenics is hilarious. People say that American Eagle's turning into like goddamn, you know, the Third Reich. Like, yeah, you know, most people find her to be attractive. If you are attractive, and as far as I know, I don't think she's had like work done, or at least not a lot of it. So that would imply you got pretty good genetics. Like when you see somebody who's attractive, it doesn't matter what race they are. Fuck. God damn. Yeah, I've been sitting on my balls for the past 35 minutes. Oh, jeez. I thought I started feeling sick in my stomach for some reason, which could be any number of reasons. But, you know, if you see somebody, it doesn't matter the race, it doesn't matter. You see somebody, they're attractive. It's not, like, achieved cosmetically, you know, it's just how they look. You immediately, or, you know, well, a couple things come to mind, but one of them is, I bet their parents are attractive. Like, you know, you would expect their parents to be attractive. You would not expect two butt-ass ugly people to make someone super attractive. Now, you can have two very attractive people make a butt-ass ugly person. There's a few examples of that. Yeah. I think, well, I won't mention any names, but you could probably figure out who I'm talking about. You know. Yeah. I'm talking about Bruce Willis and Demi Moore. Those kids. Oh, well, they're not kids anymore. I mean, they're fucking fully grown adults, older than me, I'm sure. Yeah. They're not attractive. But again, someone who is attractive probably got fucking hot parents. So, yeah, that's fucking genetic. Like, most of those things are genetic. That is not promoting eugenics. Like, it's so crazy to me. Like, and also people just getting so mad about this. Like, seeing people on, like, CNN, just news in general, like, fucking crying over this thing, saying it's, like, promoting, you know, negative stereotypes towards like certain race, like other races, and like or making people think less of other races. No, the fuck it isn't. Also, why the fuck do you care what American Eagle's doing? This, I mean, unless I'm missing something here. I used to go to American Eagle, you know, back in the day. I don't like to necessarily admit it, but whenever I was like in junior high school, I'd shop at American Eagle, pick up some Sperry's and whatnot. I don't remember seeing anybody in that American Eagle that didn't kind of look like Sydney Sweeney. I mean, there was not a lot of brothers going to American Eagle to buy clothes. Yeah. So I mean, like if you're boycotting American, I think you kind of already been boycotting American Eagle. Pretty much since its inception. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, you know, if you feel bad about something, you feel bad about something, I guess. Like, who am I to tell you how you should feel? I mean, I could definitely tell you that it's dumb as fuck. But, you know, you have every right to feel how you feel, I guess. Again, I think there's probably upwards of, there may be 20 million people on the planet that I think are more attractive than Sydney Sweeney. And I'd say put any one of them in that ad. So yeah, I'm kind of disgusted by the ad too, just for a much different reason. Yeah, I don't know. I do not know. But anyways, I think we should probably move on from this. Yeah, moving on. Okay, so got the news out of the way and all that stuff. Now, yeah, over the past couple of weeks, really just kind of in the past couple of days, I have been watching movies. Like, I've been seeing new movies like crazy, which I haven't done in a while. Like, really dove into like newer movies. Like, I've kind of just over the past fucking couple months, I've just been watching reruns of Survivor, which I do not regret in one bit, but I'm done with it. I watched, God, maybe I should regret it. I watched the first 40 seasons of Survivor in a very short amount of time. So, you know, but I love that show. I can't help it. And yeah, I don't know. It was nice to do, and I enjoyed it. I spent most of my vacation watching Survivor. I was at a very lovely beach, had a wonderful view from my condo, and I spent, yeah, definitely the majority of my time watching Survivor. So, yeah, I don't know what to say about that, really. But over this past like week or so, I'm watching a lot of movies. So first off, while on vacation, I kind of wanted to just put something on that that I didn't really have to care that much about, be super invested in. So I watched Happy Gilmore 2. So watched Happy Gilmore 2, and I can say with damn near absolute certainty that this might be the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. And I have seen some pretty rough movies. I've seen movies that just made me question my whole life's because obviously everything you've ever done in your life leads you to the point you're at right now. It's all cause and effect. Butterfly effect, cause and effect, all them things put together. And so you watch a movie and you think, my God, 30 years of moving and shaking got me to this point where I'm watching, a movie about a killer sofa. Not only am I watching a movie about a killer sofa, I'm kind of liking it. And so that makes you start to question who you are as a human being. Now, when I watched Happy Gilmore 2, I felt the same feeling, but with no happiness. This was not a happy moment for me whatsoever watching this movie. I thought, well, for one, I thought, oh, why? That kind of came to mind first. Why is this happening? Why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to the world? I've talked about movies with a lot of people, had very lovely discussions about countless movies. Never once in all those discussions did anyone mention, well, I wonder what Happy Gilmore's doing 30 years later. That somehow never came up. And probably because who gives a fuck? Nobody needs to know. Nobody like just let us live in the fantasy that Happy lived happily ever after. And then you watch the movie and you find out, oh, his wife's dead. Like, well, fucking A. Spoiler alert, but fucking A. That didn't need to happen. And then the movie is basically the ending of Anchorman 2, but the whole movie. It's just how many different celebrity cameos can we cram into one shit box? None of the cameos were good. They were, I don't know. I didn't laugh a single time. And I did not go into this. Hold on. I understand that it probably seems like, oh, well, you probably didn't even give this movie a shot. You hated it from, before you even watched it. Not true. I genuinely was pretty excited for this movie. I didn't think it was going to be like a life-changing movie by any stretch of the imagination, but I thought it would still be like pretty good. And God, I mean, it's so bad. It is so fucking dumb. And not dumb in a good way. Like, again, the first Happy Gilmore is dumb. Like, but it's a fucking comedy. It should be dumb. Like, I hate serious, like, intelligent comedy. Like, I'm not watching fucking Woody Allen movies. Like, I like movies like that. But this movie is, like, starts out like it could be promising, aside from the fact that they kill his fucking wife, which is still so stupid to do. And then there's a point in this movie where it just turns into like goddamn like Space Jam, like the horrible LeBron James one. Like, that's what it turns into. Like, they're fucking playing golf on ice. There's one with like everything's covered in fire and they're running through with a fire extinguisher. Like, it turns into, actually, it kind of turns into like Jumanji mixed with Happy Gilmore. I hated it so much. And whenever it was over, I was like, oh, we've all been bamboozled. And then what's crazy is that I've heard from people whose movie opinions I tend to kind of trust, and they fucking liked it. Now, how does that happen? I get it, different people, different tastes, different strokes. But I feel like we should all be united as one on this, that shouldn't have fucking happened, and that movie is not good. That it took everything that is great about the first Happy Gilmore and got rid of that and replaced it with fucking Benny Safdie, who, I mean, just annoys the hell out of me in general. But yeah, I just, and also, does Adam Sandler think that we all know who Benny Safdie is? Because I feel like they could have given that role to somebody who people actually like would look at and recognize. Like, hey, you got all these celebrity cameras, you got all these people, connections. And I get it that, he did Uncut Gems, blah, blah, blah. Fucking it. I mean, I don't know. That seemed like a real miss. So anyways, Happy Gilmore, would not recommend. Give it 1 out of 10 Subway sandwiches. 0 out of 10. Fuck that. No sandwiches. So then what was the next one I watched? Okay. So after that, I watched Together. Now we're going kind of like more to the opposite end of all this. Together, I thought, was absolutely incredible. I thought, which I almost just said I thought it was very original. But turns out that it may be a complete ripoff. Or not may, I mean, I think it's like definitely a ripoff. But still, whatever. I still liked it. I liked the like the whole idea of it, the meaning behind it, like all the symbolism in there. I thought Dave Franco was great. Alison Brie is great. They're married in real life. Normally, I don't like that in movies because it like kind of draws you out of the movie. It's like, oh, they're married in real life. It's it just doesn't work for me most of the time. But I thought it worked very well in this movie. I liked it. I thought Together was so good. I highly recommend that movie. A perfect movie, by no means. Still some parts in there I was like, Come on. But overall, it's creepy, funny. It's very funny in some parts, which I did not expect it to necessarily be a comedy, but I mean, it isn't a comedy necessarily, but like, I didn't expect, normally in horror movies, whenever there's like some comedy thrown in, it just doesn't fit. It feels weird. But this one, it just, yeah, it worked very well. Liked it a lot. Give it 7 conjoined twins, or yeah, whatever. 7 out of 10. Now going back down to the shit end of the stick. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Boy, I tell you. Again, another movie that I think, well, not again, I haven't even said this before. I Know You Did Last Summer is definitely a movie where I think that they think that it's a bigger deal than it actually is. Now, obviously, people know that movie, and it was pretty successful when it came out. The cast is, you know, like for that little era, like there's like about a 3 or 4 year period where those 4 unstoppable. So yeah, like I'm not saying it's like some just like unheard of fucking movie or anything, but it definitely it's not as like deserving of a reboot, I would say, as a movie like Scream. Scream has been rebooted twice and deserved it every time, and I think they've been great. I think every single one of them has been good. So, and that all kind of makes sense. I Know What You Did Last Summer is kind of like a one-off slasher movie, and then of course I know there's like I Still Know What You Did Last Summer and all that shit, but that movie is just not good at all. I mean, you have Brandy in a movie who has actually killed someone, and you know, you don't have her playing the killer. That's a miss. Didn't she kill someone? It's her, right? I think that. Yeah, pretty sure it's Brandy that killed someone. Moesha. God. So yeah, I mean, there's so many parts in this movie where I was like, holy fuck. If it's another movie, kind of feels like not even ChatGPT, because ChatGPT is pretty good at like, you know, nowadays pretty good at copying or producing. Like if you wrote a script in ChatGPT, it would make it sound pretty legitimate as far as like how people talk and how people communicate. This feels like the real early stages of AI trying to talk the way that like a wild teenager would talk. There's a line in the movie I had to write down because I was like, oh, how does this happen? There's a line in this movie where they're watching the fireworks, the young people, and one of the guys screams, "This energy goes straight to my dick hole." That's an actual line in that movie. So I don't know about that. I think that's probably not good. And then he proceeds to play chicken with a car, which, you know, that's bringing a knife to a gunfight for sure. I mean, he's not in a car, I should say. That same guy, you know, he's you know, he's got a lot of energy, a lot of gumption to him. Energy has gone to his dick hole, and I guess that energy has made him want to, like, you know, jump in front of a car and play chicken with it. And then, you know, obviously a tragedy ensues, and then you get the same slasher bullshit. So right now I'm going to spoil the movie. So if you don't want me to spoil it, skip ahead until you see the poster for the next movie. There you go. Fair enough. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Here's a goddamn spoiler alert. So, Jennifer Love Hewitt back in the movie. And I will say, there's your American Eagle ad. Oh, God. I don't know how old she is. Probably mid-40s, I'd guess. Jennifer Love Hewitt is so hot. Yeah. And then there's also Freddie Prinze Jr., who, goddamn, you know, handsome man himself. Well, the town of Southport, it doesn't necessarily like to promote the fact that there was this tragedy where, Sarah Michelle Gellar dies. Also, Sarah Michelle Gellar in the movie as herself from 1997. And I don't know if they did like CGI or something, but she looks like the exact same, like weirdly the same as she did in 1997. Also, Sarah Michelle Gellar, yeah. Kind of like the Sydney Sweeney of the 90s, but hot, like real hot, like Cruel Intentions. Good Lord, that made me wish I had a stepsister so fucking bad. It's also probably why I'm attracted to girls who are drug addicts. Not all of them, but in the past. So I will say, Sarah Michelle Gellar's in it. Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt. Ron Felipe also, obviously dead as shit. So the town, Southport, they have a mayor. He doesn't want people focusing in on this tragedy because obviously he's kind of like a what's the mayor from Jaws? I can't remember his name, but the one that's like, oh, we pretend like nothing's going on. We need people coming here during the summer. It's like one of those kinds of things. We need the tourism and all that shit. I guess Freddie Prinze Jr. doesn't like that the whole town just acts like nothing ever happened to him and his friends. And not only does he not like it, it has led him to the point to where the hero from the first movie, is now one of the killers in this movie. And it's so dumb. Like when I was watching it and starting to realize that, because they do the whole bullshit where they're like, well, she couldn't have, because there's one of the killers is a girl, and they're like, oh, well, she couldn't have done this alone, which is that same movie trope, which you're like, oh, there it is. So like, well, yeah, like, it's very Scooby-Doo-ish, which is, pretty rich, but, like, how could she have possibly done this on her own? And then they go, oh no. And then they realize, oh fuck, there is, not only is it another killer, but we know who it is. And then the girl is like confronted by Freddie Prinze Jr., who proceeds to try to kill her, and he ends up killing Jennifer Love Hewitt. So, yeah. So Jennifer Love Hewitt's boyfriend in the first one ends up killing her in this one. And again, this kind of goes back to the Happy Gilmore thing. Why? Why do we need this to happen? Like, we don't need that to happen. We could have just left that at the first two and, and been done. But anyway, so not as bad as Happy Gilmore. Pretty close. So 1 dead Brian Felipe out of 10. There we go. Good enough. And then last movie that I watched, Saving the Best for Last. This may be one of the... this is definitely in the running for best horror movie of the decade. Well, that's only the past 5 years, right? Let's just say of the 21st century. 25 years. This is up there. Weapons. Oh my God. This movie. I tend to overhype myself with movies. I've always kind of done that, where I see a trailer, and I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be the greatest thing ever. This is going to be so amazing, blah, blah, blah. And then I watch it, and it, of course, doesn't live up to that hype, and so I'm all sad and blue. And then, there's that. This is one of those movies where I got real excited by the trailer. They did the trailer the perfect way. They don't tell you anything about what's going on in this movie. And I can assure you, if you haven't seen it, again, before I get far into this, there's going to be some spoilers. Maybe. I might actually not spoil this one. I feel like I know what you did last summer. I'm helping you by spoiling that movie. This one, I'm going to try not to spoil it, but it could happen. So I guess just be on your toes if you care about shit like that. So I see the trailer for the first time and think, goddamn, I don't know. I don't have a clue what this movie is going to be about. I know it's creepy, looks weird. It's got Josh Brolin, big fan of old JB. Kids running with their arms out, creepy as hell. Like, there's a lot of things that I was like, yeah. This could end up being a pretty good movie. And then, so normally I try to not even watch more than one movie trailer. I try to just watch the one, like the first one, and then I'm like, okay, I don't need to see any more parts of this movie until it comes out. And this one, I kept watching new clips and trailers. So kept doing that. And it's still, I'm like, God damn, I still don't know what's going on in this thing. And I finally watched the movie. And I tell you, if you haven't seen it, and you've only seen the trailers, you do not know what's going on in this movie. You could maybe guess a few things, probably. Now, sort of. I don't know. I don't even know if you really could guess. It's wild how much is going on, and they don't show any of it in that trailer. Yeah, I was blown away by this movie from start to finish. It's not like a super fast-paced movie, but it stays creepy. They build the characters really well. The teacher, the principal, the Josh Brolin's character, everybody's getting given their touch. And there's some other characters they don't even really show in the trailers that become very important. And they just do a great job at showing all these. This isn't really a spoiler, but it's filmed in I can't remember, there's a name for it, but it's kind of the Pulp Fiction style where you have you show this person's story, and then the timelines all start to intersect. It's different people's events of the day, all leading into each other. So that's what's going on in this movie. That doesn't spoil anything. But I'm just saying you have that to expect, which I like that most of the time. Sometimes it can be done very poorly, but when it's done right, it's awesome. And this movie definitely does it the right way. I can't recommend this movie enough. I mean, this is, it's, I don't know. I don't want to say it's a perfect movie, but it kind of is. There's not a whole lot I'd change about this thing. It's just so good. It's the best way I think. And the symbolism is incredible because, I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to these types of things. I like picking up on that kind of stuff. I like dissecting, what's going on. What does this movie mean? Which I know makes it sound fruity as hell, and that's fine. But this one, there's a lot of that going on. So much. Now, again, this doesn't spoil anything, but the movie is definitely touching on school shootings and what happens in the aftermath and kind of how a town reacts to one, and showing that is this very real danger for kids. Now I will say, it doesn't seem like there's been one in a long time, unless I'm just not hearing about it, which could be the case. But it seems like there hasn't been one in a while, and obviously that's a good thing. Which now I guess the biggest danger for kids is fucking peanut butter. That's because peanut butter has become the new AK-47. Yeah. Peanut butter is definitely the new AR. And yeah, because I tell you, when I used to be a substitute teacher, not to brag, that was they really stressed that. Like, don't you have even a fucking speck of peanut butter on your person when you come into this school. Like, I tell you what, I mean, we were given like peanut butter crackers all the time as kids growing up in school. I don't remember anybody croaking in the middle of fucking social studies. Yeah, I mean, is that really like a huge danger for kids now? Is peanut butter? Because that is, boy, that seems like something we should be looking at. I mean, why isn't old RFK looking into what's going on there? Oh, the peanut butter's killing our kids. So I had to try it, but but yeah, I mean, it is wild. Like, I mean, they were very adamant about you not having, like, don't, like, basically also asking, like, God damn, I actually started to sound like RFK for saying but basically saying, like, try not to eat peanut butter before you come to the school. It's like, God, this is wild. Like, I'm young, like decently young. So it hasn't been that long since I've been out of school. Like when did this start? The whole, like, that peanut butter is, the new uranium. Like, I brought, because, like, kids aren't allowed to bring peanut butter to school, like, in their lunches. I mean, when I was a kid, I brought a PB&J every single day with me to school. I had no idea I was walking around with a lunchbox full of C4. Oh my God. So yeah, I mean, kids really have a lot of dangers to worry about. So maybe this movie, maybe Weapons, is about the dangers of peanut butter. So yeah, who knows? I don't know. It is it's very bizarre, the whole peanut butter thing, which I know was a bit of a whatever you call it. What the fuck is it called when you go off the path? Shit. That's not good. Boy, my memory has really been slipping lately. Oh, well. So Weapons. I mean, it's super terrifying, which, again, I mean, a lot of people go, I watched it, you fucking pussy. It's not scary at all. Okay. Cool. It was pretty scary to me. Like, I definitely did a couple of, looking through the fingers, on a few parts, which I'm a pretty jumpy fella as is. So yeah, take from that what you will. But yeah, it's creepy. The villain of the movie, good Lord. I mean, it is nice to see that Kathy Griffin is still getting he's still getting jobs, but yeah, it's again, cannot recommend enough. If you like horror movies, if you don't like horror movies, it's good, very, very good. So yeah, I guess that'll really round it all out. It's a pretty good way to end everything. So yeah, hope you have a great week. I'll see you again next time. Goodbye.